My chains are broken. And now I will break them all.
Okay, looks like I am just about in time. So let's see what we got.
Hello, everyone.
Picked the wrong time.
Welcome to the 771 developer livestream for Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm Jackie, Senior Community Manager, and we got there. I gave you enough time.
Thank you.
Yes?
I'm Eric Musco, Game Director. I'm drinking water. Don't mind me.
Yeah, allergies are terrible right now.
They are, yeah.
But yeah,
Austin can't decide if it's 70 or 100, so it's great.
feels like 100 in this room. But yeah, we're back. And we have a really beefy stream for everyone. There's a lot of information, so you'll want to stick around for the entirety of the stream.
And you
Even
get
more so because there's an active Twitch drop right now. So if you watch 1 hour of live Swtor content on Twitch, you will obtain the Coruscant art poster decoration.
Yeah.
In order, if you haven't
Is that
yet,
the new
make
one,
sure
or
that
is
you
that
go to
one I already
Swtor.com,
have?
hook up your Swtor account and your Twitch account, and that's how you will be able to obtain progress towards earning those Twitch rewards or Twitch drops that we are unlocking for all of you.
Yeah.
So this campaign, starting today, is going to be active until August 13th, and that is what the poster looks like.
Sweet. And not only do we run Twitch drops for the live streams where we tell you about the update, we also then run a Twitch drop when the game update goes live.
Yes, and so this is what the Twitch drop mount will be at 7.7 launch proper. You're going to get the TF6 Striker mount by watching 4 hours of live Twitch content.
Yeah. I think this has a flourish.
Yes, it does.
What's the flourish?
It's a flourish.
Thank you, Brad.
Something that you press and it does something.
Great. Thank you, Brad. It has a flourish.
There is a flourish on
There is
it.
one. Brad won't tell me what it is, but that's something. We all have to find out.
But-
Keep your secrets.
Yeah.
He'll be on camera later. We can just make him tell us. He still won't tell us. Don't worry.
Yep. And as a reminder,
Okay,
I
we
often
know
get,
how Twitch drops
questions
work.
As far as like how often we do Twitch drops, so it's every single time that we host a developer live stream like today, and every single time that there is a game update launch. The live stream drops will you watch 1 hour, and they'll be active for roughly 2 weeks. With game update launches, it's you watch between anywhere 4 to 5 hours, and then that campaign will be active for 28 days following launch.
Yep.
So, just as a reminder.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Yep. So let's talk about what's in the 771 live stream. First up, what's going on with story? So we were waiting for some pieces to fall.
I
into
would
place.
like
We
to see
have
some
of
actual
those
story
pieces.
content.
Still got a few more, but we're going to tell you about where we are at with that and what that means for date night. So we're going to hit that first, me and Jackie right out of the gate. So just hold tight for that one. Then Bryant's going to join me. We're going to talk about what Galactic Season 9 is and the surrounding updates around that. That includes updates to Activity Finder and some other things that might be related to Galactic Season 9. We have some updates to free-to-play, which is nice, along with combat updates. We have some changes coming to that. We have Feast of Prosperity coming back with some new rewards. And then Brad's going to join me. You already heard me call him out. We're talking about what's coming to the cartel market, what's coming up to character modernization. We have some cool stuff to show you there, and what the status is of DirectX 12.
Yeah.
So-
All right. Story. Let's
You've been
go.
waiting. It's only 2 slides. It's not going to take long, but plenty of information to get in there. So, as you know, we've been waiting for a few pieces to fall into place. We have quite a bit of that. Just a few more things that we still got to wait. So, it's not coming in 771.
That should be blocking less.
But here is the roadmap for you. Just so you have it all in your hands. Galactic Threads is planned to come in Game Update 7.8, which is our holiday update. And then right on the heels of that, we're just going to take the mold and throw it out the window. And so that means Masters Enigma, which is the story update that follows right after that, is fast following in 7.8.1. So normally, for those of you that follow our roadmap structure, we do story updates in our majors or our dot numbers. That's going to happen in our next update, Galactic Threads. That's where you should expect the next story update. And then we're going to
Okay, this better be more than like half an hour of talking to Marcus or something though.
Anyway, so you'll get Masters Enigma following right after that in 7.8.1.
Yeah. So we want to get the story out to all of you as quickly as possible.
That's right. So you should definitely make sure to come back. I mean, you should come to all of our streams anyway, but that means 7.8 is where we'll kind of catch you up on everything that's been going on in the story. If you aren't caught up in the story, certainly catch up in the summer. Now's your times, because that means Galactic Threads will be coming right around the corner. And of course, for catching up on story, that means you're going, where's the dates at? So there aren't going to be any coming in 7.7.
They just killed the stream. Yep. F. Well, that's awkward.
Definitely get plenty of Caitlin and Ashley on the next couple streams because we'll be talking about Galactic Threads,
Fucking
Masters
toying.
Enigma, the dates. There'll be plenty of story information to catch up
Overrated,
on over the
but-
next couple of live streams
Yeah.
and beyond. So
Yeah, and just going back just a tiny bit, just in case some players may not know our content cadence, 7.8 is our holiday update.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yep. So look for that in the holiday
year.
period. Yep, as well.
This
Yep.
year.
So you won't have to wait too long.
All right.
That's where we are with story.
That's the update for all of story. That's it for me. I got my 5 minutes of fame. So Bryant will be joining Musco in a couple minutes
Yep.
or so.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have to pipe him in from the internet, and he'll be joining me here fictionally through the power of the tubes.
Yep.
And we'll catch you up on everything going on with.
All right,
Thank you, Scam Stream.
bye. Space mooches. Mwah.
Well, there's a lot to improve with the free-to-play system, especially for preferred players, so... we'll see if it's worth them keeping us waiting like this.
All right, and we are back, and I'm joined by
There we go.
Bryant. If you want to give a quick introduction for yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Bryant Woods, Senior Systems Designer on Star Wars The Old Republic.
All right, and just before me and Bryant jump into our section, I heard that we might have had a quick stream drop, and so I just want to give just the super quickest of recap on the end of the last section that we were just in. So again, just super quick. Our plan for story, if you missed that last part, is that we are targeting Galactic Threads to be delivered at 7.8, which is our holiday update coming this year. Masters Enigma will fast follow in 7.8.1, which is our kind of late winter, early spring update the year after. And then our 2 date nights are targeting 7.8.1, which is that update I just named, which would be Kira and Torian. Those are the 2 dates that are targeting for that game update. So that's our super quick recap, just in case that happened during the drop. That apparently happened. We didn't see it in the room, but it sounds like that's what chat was mentioning. So there you go. That's our quick recap. Okay, on to the system stuff. Galactic Season 9. So I'll give you kind of the quick overview of kind of what we're doing with Galactic Season 9, and then I'll hand it off to Bryant to talk into some of the specifics. So just a reminder about some of the things that we try to do with Galactic Seasons, and then I'll let Bryant get into some of the specifics. So as always with Galactic Seasons, what we're really trying to do is kind of drive you into some kind of gameplay content, gameplay systems. So you can think about previous seasons. We've driven you into Uprisings. We've driven you into Strongholds even. Last season, very specifically, we drove you into Uprisings. You're going to notice, because you're probably already reading my screen, that Kaizaken's back. And we actually did a little bit of a test run sneakily last season, where we wanted to experiment a little bit with what would happen if we messed with gameplay inside of Uprisings. Teaser, we're going to do that again a little bit. Kaizaken's doing it again. And we wanted to, again, do that as a test bed, but we're going to round that up a little bit. Not only are we going to experiment and bring you into Flashpoints, which is obviously a lot more prominent and more played content than Uprisings were, but we're also going to support that in a broader way by making changes not only within the season, but also to some more supporting systems around it that we're going to talk a little bit more about. So again, that's kind of some of the goals that we were aiming for with Galactic Season 9. Brian, if you want to take it away a little bit.
Yeah, so like Musco said, our focus of this season is going to be on having players do flashpoints, and we are going to carry over the mechanic from last season with Uprisings, where there will be special buffs that you can activate within that content. So we'll have the 3 buffs from last season, the Circa combat drones, unstable radiation field, and the destruction overload. But this season we're adding in 2 more, the experimental repulsor field and projectile probes, which we'll actually go over now. So the experimental repulsor field, when you activate this buff, you'll be given a
I didn't hate
temporary healing
Uprisings,
bar
it's
with only 2
just
abilities. The
it
first
was
is
harder to get
Lift.
groups, it was less
You can
rewarding, it was
levitate
more
strong
confusing what to
enemies
do.
or weaker, and
So
then by lifting them, it enables you
Uprisings
to
just became
essentially
something that
move
you only did
pro,
with your
where
friends
you
instead
can
of
pro the
really
way
queuing up forward randoms because it was just a bad
into
experience to
other
play with
fields of
strangers.
damage.
Wish it came with the screaming and running civilian as part of it. Missed opportunity.
Yes, unfortunately, civilian not included. Then the second will be the projectile probes. This will create 2 probes that will passively hover around the player and fire projectiles towards enemies while you're in combat.
Cool. So let's talk about the rewards. One of the things we didn't do with Galactic Season 8 that we really wanted to make sure to focus on this time, I think we kind of created a little bit of confusion when we showcased, especially the hairstyles in Galactic Season 8. I think because we didn't show a lot of some of the standard rewards when we showed the hairstyles, we saw some of the sentiment in chat, especially initially before we got to the reward article, that hairstyle may have been a replacement, or that we might have taken away some of the standard rewards that players might have expected, like weapons or armor or something. Even though we had obviously set a precedent that those were some of the standard rewards, again, we might have created some confusion by offering some newer, cooler things. So just to kind of set the record straight and make sure that we're not creating any of that confusion, some of the thing we're going to try to do going forward is show you the list of rewards up front of what's coming in the Galactic Season track. Just know that our intention is that the standard things you can expect, like base and prestige armor sets, base and prestige weapon sets, mounts, titles, etc., all that stuff is what we consider to be the standard rewards you will get inside of a season. We'll tell you if we're ever not going to do those standard things, and when we show you or talk about special stuff, it's special, which means in addition to, not necessarily in replacement of.
I mean,
So
sure,
our goal wasn't really to scare anybody in any of those
Galactic
things. And as
Seasons
always,
is
look forward to
fine
reading
as a
the
battle pass
articles
system
where we will
goes, but it
highlight
could
any of
still
those
stand to
special
be
things,
a
in
lot
those
better.
cases. So just wanted to call that out, and that's why we're going to start doing something more like this up front to show you what some of the list of those rewards are. Brian?
Yeah, and so we have a lot of the rewards that are usual on screen right now. And I did want to call out that this season, a lot of the rewards will be themed based on Andor Season 2.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
good.
That's a real heavy theme kind of throughout here. So I know we're going to highlight and show some of the specific ones, but just like as an example, like the Yavin themed decorations, there's some really, really awesome ones that you'll be able to pull. There's a lot of things that, especially when you see these, you won't see them today, but you'll especially see them in the Cartel Market, not the Cartel Market, the Galactic Season article when it comes out, that you're going to, especially if you've watched Andor Season 2, which you should if you haven't, you will be able to spot places that you've been like, oh, that giant meeting table that I'm now placing in my stronghold. Man, I remember that from episode number, or this specific scene in the show, just as one example. So there's a lot of really really cool stuff that was pulled from Andor season 2 as part of this reward track, that I'm really excited that we were able to pull in. So let's take a look at
take a look at some of the mounts we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the Verdier Iconics B1 and P1. That'll be available from the reward track. And then the prestige version of those is going to be the Verdier Lux line. And this will use your color crystal to control the thrusters and lighting elements to match.
Very cool.
Well, that's neat, but again, I kind of hate when they do these things as one-offs for certain vehicles instead of making them a new standard that applies globally.
What we call our base versions, and they will also have a prestige.
Yeah, with the Sweet Flourish, as you just saw.
Mm-hmm. The minus Mud Dauber, which will also use your color crystal for thrusters and various lighting elements.
Yeah, which also has the same flourish as the ones you just saw in the previous one.
And this season, our meta achievement reward will be the T701 rugged customization. May look a little rusty, but still fights well.
Okay, another retexture on an old droid. Don't care.
Yeah, so this is something that we've been trying to do a little bit more of, is make sure that we highlight the rewards for those of you, because we know there's plenty of you, especially on the live stream. We know many of you like to game for those completing out the Galactic Season track and then aiming for some of the meta achievements and stuff that are there. And so we really want to make sure to highlight what you're able to earn as part of that meta achievement as well. Like last season, that was one of the hairstyles, and then this season, of course, it's the it's that. Yep. So let's talk about, as I mentioned, one of our goals coming into this season is flashpoints, and we wanted to make sure to add in some quality of life changes to support the surrounding content, being flashpoints, and the way that you play flashpoints. One of the ways you play flashpoints, of course, is going in through Activity Finder. So let's talk about some of the changes we're making to Activity Finder this season, or just in general, but impacts this season.
Okay.
Yeah, so giving a brief overview of how Activity Finder works currently, players are able to select a role and go into Activity Finder for that when they're in the queue. One of the big changes we're going to be allowing is that you can now choose all eligible roles when you're in the group tab. So as you can see in the screenshot, I have been able to select damage, heal, and tank, which is only accomplishable through both combat styles. So if your first combat style has a damage spec and a healing spec, you would be able to choose both of those. But if your second combat style allows you the option to do a tank spec, you'll be able to choose all three of them. Very important here is also going to be that while you are in queue, you can change
something I
your
feel
role
like we
for
used
the
to be able
outworld.
to do.
That means that you can queue up as a healer, swap to damage to go do daily or heroic areas, and then when your queue pops, the system will tell you you have been chosen as a healer. Please swap into a healer role before you accept the queue and are teleported to your content. And a reminder to all players, you definitely want to leverage your loadouts.
This is something that is definitely going to lead to pissing some people off due to the people who like queue as a healer and then don't actually change their spec.
Yeah. So this will definitely be one of those places where having multiple combat styles will become really useful. So being a subscriber obviously becomes important, because that's one of the places that you can only do it as a subscriber. Having multiple loadouts become key, right? Because it'll allow you to switch between those things. Being able to change combat specializations in the field, which is a legacy perk. Like, this is where all those things are suddenly become really apparent for you, because now you can do it. You don't have to lock into the thing you want to decide before you even queue up into your favorite flashpoint, because now it's just the thing you can do on the fly before you even get in there.
And along with the Galactic Season, there will be a new queue within the group finder. It'll be called the Flashpoint Resurgence queue. Every week, this queue will have 1 or 2 veteran flashpoints, which will match the weekly objectives from Galactic Season. Players will be able to queue for this Flashpoint Resurgence queue along with all the other queues. And I did see some people in chat calling out on that last screen. You may have saw that some of the queues had more activities selected than were required. A new change coming is that you will no longer have to select every piece of content to be eligible for the daily reward bonus and the weekly mission credit. And we'll actually show you an example of that on the next slide. So as you can see here, on the left, when you are eligible for content, we have story operations, 13 out of 11 selected. What that means is that you only need to choose 11 of those story operations in order to receive credit for the bonus and the weekly mission, but there are 13 that you have chosen in this case. Then on the right side, when you're ineligible, we will make sure that the screen is grayed out, highlights in red that you're ineligible, and shows you exactly how many of that piece of content needs to be selected. In this case, only 24 out of the 25 veteran flashpoints have been chosen, so you would not be eligible for that reward bonus.
So if there's some very specific pieces of content that I don't want to pick, I would be able to uncheck them, is what you're saying.
I am. And Muska, what would that be for you? What would you be unchecking from this game?
Well, that you gave me a loaded question there, Brian. Well, okay, so I can't say that there's anything that I specifically wouldn't want to play, but let me give you an example of something that maybe I wouldn't want to pick, at least in today's game, right? So let's go way back in time to like Black Talon, right? So if I go into Black Talon, one of the problems that I always run into is that, especially for newer players, it's the first flashpoint they get into. It takes honestly a long time because there's lots of cutscenes, the story-based flashpoint, and a newer player especially might be coming in and playing it and they want to see those cutscenes, right? And so I have to ask them nicely sometimes, you know, to at least spacebar through it, or I just know that it's going to take me maybe even upwards of an hour to play that flashpoint, especially if they want to play through and see those story cutscenes, whereas some other flashpoints really should only probably take me 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, and that's actually very common feedback that we've seen around Activity Finder and the content involved. So we made an additional change to Activity Finder coming up.
And what's that?
When players will queue for a veteran or master flashpoint via Activity Finder, cinematics will be immediately skipped and replaced with a brief fade to black. No requesting spacebar is going to be needed.
Oh, isn't that nice?
That's
and so there's some
okay,
very
I
specific
guess.
nuance that I want to call out here, especially because obviously playing story through flashpoints is a very interesting and important component of our game.
Although
So
I used to like
if you
to do the
want to
story by
play
playing an actually
story
difficult
in
mode. Now you
flashpoints,
can
which
only
is
get the
obviously
story in the fucking baby mode where
you
everything
can
dies when
and
you
should
submit a
still do
paper.
so, and you will need to do it through
Which is a shame.
solo story or story difficulties. That's how you play those flashpoints in story. In fact, if you want to play story in a flashpoint, even in veteran or master, you actually can. The key is what you need to do is you need to form a group. So even in a group, you can give yourself and your 3 best friends, put them in a group. Let's say Black Talon as an example. You go, you know what I really want to do? I want to make sure I kill the captain in a cutscene. You grab your 3 friends. You can form a group, set it to veteran or master, and walk into the phase gate. As long as you do it
that's
outside of
good.
Activity Finder, we will not fade to black on you. Which actually does bring up an important point that I want to make sure that we call out. Any choices that happen during cutscenes, Black Talon being a good example, because the path changes depending on what choices are made. Those choices are automatically made for you inside of any of those flashpoints. No dark or light side points are made inside of these fades and blacks. It all just happens in the darkness. And so you don't have to worry about it. Our goal is to just make this move along speedily. So no one has to ask nicely about space barring inside of chat.
Super nicely.
Super nicely, because everyone does it super nicely.
Yeah, only nicely.
Only nicely.
And then as a bonus, while we were looking at flashpoints, we also took a look at the leveling experience through flashpoints, and we identified an opportunity to make them more rewarding for players while leveling up. So loot from flashpoint bosses, when you're under level 75, will be increased in general. Players were receiving roughly 1 piece of gear per boss, but now they can expect 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 pieces of gear per boss.
People are asking, what about the flashpoints that don't have a story mode?
What do you mean?
You can still walk in.
Yeah, you might have to reiterate that they'll have to walk through.
Yeah, if
so, a lot of questions about story mode.
So someone's asking if what about a flashpoint that doesn't have a story mode? Yeah, we'll make a full post about how all of this works and any of those things. Like there's going to be plenty of questions about nuance, about the details of all of these things. Just we'll have a follow-up so you can have a full, robust understanding of how all of this works. So don't sweat it, because I know, again, it's important that you get the opportunity to play flashpoints in the story. So don't worry. Again, the goal here is to remove friction for if you're a core active player and you're running into players who are trying to play through those story experiences. There's a lot of friction and butting heads between those things, and so we're trying to remove that friction. But we also don't want to remove the ability of players to play story, and so that is still there. So we'll make sure that that is understood. So yeah, we'll get a detailed explanation out before 7.7.1 of how all this works. Yep. Okay, so back in the 7.7 live stream, we talked about that as kind of part of this friction removal. We were making an audit of the default granted abilities and talents that were selected for players as part of the leveling experience. We're basically just finishing that up in 7.7.1. So this is Merc and Commando, Operative Scoundrel, Sword, Sage. That's happening here. Not going to go into super specifics in the stream, but basically it's just we've made a whole bunch of changes about, again, what the default talents are that are selected across the disciplines as you level up through those classes. And then there's a few other balance changes that are being made. Again, not going to read them. You can read them for yourself, but we just wanted to put those examples for you. So again, for a robust list of changes about what those default selections are for people through that leveling experience and any other balance changes that are happening, look to the forums, especially as we get closer to 7.7.1 and in the patch notes. We just wanted to let you know that we're kind of finishing that audit for that default leveling experience, along with a few additional balance changes that are coming in 7.7.1 as well. Okay, this one, let's talk about this. So for those that don't know, I imagine a lot of you on the stream do know about this, but I just want to call this out because this one is pretty important. So right now, any player who has a security key on their account receives 100 cartel coins a month. Starting in 7.7.1, we're making a slight change to that, but I want to make sure that's important that you all understand what that change is, and so that all of you can continue to get 100 cartel coins, or if you don't already get it, you start getting 100 cartel coins a month, because that's important.
So, fuck this.
Get your free money. Security keys are important because they keep your account safe. Which is important for you and for us. We want to make sure that all that hard work that you put into your account stays secure and safe. And so starting in 7.7.1, the only additional change that we're going to make to that is that you also must have logged in within the previous 30 days to receive those 100 cartel coins. That's it. End of story, right? And so if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you do not currently have a security key on your account, what you should be doing, along with hooking up Twitch drops, so you're getting that free stuff, is go to Swtor.com, use any commonly used authenticator. We pretty much accept most or all of them, and then apply a security key. Because what that will mean is, as long as you have a security key and you log in every 30 days, you get 100 cartel coins. And if you're not doing that currently, that means you are leaving
this is a
100
bullshit
cartel coins a
change
month on the table. So please go get free money. It gets you logging into the game, and it gives you free cartel coins. It's win-win. So just wanted to let you know about that change and let you know you might be getting free money. So that's the change we wanted to let you know of. Next up is talking about some free-to-play changes that we're making. Before we get into the new ones in 7.7.1, we wanted to backtrack a little bit and talk about some of the ones that we made prior to 7.7.1, because we haven't actually talked about them on stream previously. They've been in patch notes, but they've been a little bit disparate, kind of spread over a few different patches. But most of them have kind of been focused all around movement and mobility. So we kind of put them all under one bucket. So Brian, I guess I can let you cover these kind of now that I kind of set the bucket up for it, if you want to run through them.
Sure, yeah. Some of the changes that went into our 7.x patches, all players receive sprint at level 1. It was previously only available at level 10, so it makes it easier for you to move around some of those early zones. All players can now train speeder piloting at level 10. This was moved down from level 25. Alongside this, we've also released a couple mounts that no longer require speeder piloting, so there are more options for you to mount up early on. And then lastly, the core planets, the capital planets, now have onboarding missions that'll be granted to players, which guides you toward the mount vendor and make it easy for you to obtain that first mount.
Yeah, right. Because effectively before is unless you wandered across a vendor that sold mounts, you might have just never recognized that there was even mounts there.
You could have walked right past it.
Yeah, exactly. And so that wasn't the best experience for players to be able to get around, and our game is gigantic, and so we wanted to make sure that was there. Okay, so let's talk about this, and I'm going to give an example. I'm going to steal Brian's thunder and just talk about the first one, and then I'll kind of let him talk through some of these. So here's what we really wanted to focus on for the free-to-play improvements that we were making across 7.7.1. players, free-to-play players especially, and their ability to change the way that they look and they engage with the game, it really just players across the game, that we know that that's really important to them. But free-to-play players especially, this is something where we really had created a lot of friction in our model. And so we really wanted to remove that. So let me give you the example, which is the first bullet. Around level like 4 to 6-ish, you get your first companion in the Crit Path story. And then 1 or 2 missions after that, you get a choice of one of 3 companion customizations if you want to modify the appearance of that companion. And as a free-to-play player, you can't use companion customizations. And so that would mean if you're a free-to-play player playing on just the starter world, within the first hour and a half, you would have already ran into a restriction about customizing your appearance and the visual appearance of the way that you engage with the game, and you already can't use an item. And that really doesn't feel great. And so we wanted to focus our improvements on that experience for those players to remove that friction. So that's an example of kind of what we were really focusing on here. Bryant, if you want to kind of run through some of those.
Yeah, so the other improvements that'll be coming for free-to-play players is that they will have access to legacy titles. If you aren't already aware, legacy titles are the ones that will display underneath your
Oh, did it freeze again?
character's name.
Okay.
They'll be able to earn rest experience. So when you log out of Swtor, log out in a rest
These
zone,
changes
easy
are
to
okay,
find,
but
especially
like
looking for
none of these
cantinas,
restrictions should have
where you
existed
will
in the first
generate what
place.
we
These are
call
all like
rested
terrible ways to
experience, and
stratify your
that
game.
will boost up how quickly you can level when you do return to the game. They'll be able to gain the first cargo bay for free, making it easier to store things on their character. They'll be able to hide their head slot, so if you don't like the way your helmet looks, you can now disable that and you won't have to see your helmet.
Yeah, and the thing that too, just to bounce back a couple, but I can bucket them, is like the nice thing too, with like especially if you look at like earn rest XP and the first cargo bay. One thing that we wanted to be careful of too is we wanted to make sure that we didn't take any value away from people that were also subscribers, right? And so you look at like
what are you going
earn
to do
rest
to the
XP,
credit escrow?
Subscribers are still
It
going
shouldn't
to
exist
earn
at all.
XP faster than someone like a free to play player would. But subscribers also earn rest XP, right? So allowing free-to-play players to earn rest XP doesn't take anything away from subscribers. And same thing with like a cargo bay is that subscribers also get the first cargo bay free, as do preferred status players. And free-to-play players have a teeny tiny inventory, and so they need some way that they can have some kind of friction away from the storage capacity issues that they have. And so giving them that cargo bay can kind of alleviate some of that friction that they have in there as well.
Yeah, and we made some adjustments to escrow as well. Not going to give all the specifics now, but just as an example,
You should give
at the top
specifics. That's the
level,
point
you
of the
used to get
stream.
600,000 credits for your purchase, and now you'll be getting 1 million credits for that purchase. And then lastly, all account types will have all quick bars unlocked.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy, right? We're an MMO. Everything goes on your quick bars, your abilities, your mounts, your toys. And so now everybody gets all quick bars. This is all players of all types. You all get them. You get a quick bar, you get a quick bar, you get a quick bar. So, easy one.
And we're not even done yet. There's more changes.
Oh, that's right. Yep. This one is very similar to like the companion customization of how frequently we would be like, hey, congratulations, you got a purple item. You can't equip it. So that's the setup if you want to talk through the specifics, Brian.
Yeah, so this was extremely prevalent in flashpoints and was part of the reward changes that were made to those. But we have removed artifact authorization from all items under level 80, except for the reusable med packs from crafting. This is really meant to smooth out that leveling and story experience and make it so that our free-to-play players, when they do hit their cap and are exploring content, are getting rewards that it can actually use and can actually look forward to. So artifact authorization will now only impact the level 80 purple and higher endgame gear, as was originally intended from artifact authorization, and then those med packs as mentioned.
Yep. So it just simplifies it. Is it under level 80? Unimpacted. Done. Nice and simple and clean. So, and now you're thinking, well, that's cool. That's all free-to-play stuff. I'm a subscriber. Where's my cool stuff? Well, don't worry. We got you covered too.
Yeah, for subscribers, we're going to be hosting a new event. This is going to be a login rewards event that will run from September 9th until December 9th.
Yep.
And this will be leveraging our login reward system. If you aren't familiar,
Legacy
we give you
tokens,
rewards
seriously?
just for logging into Swtor. there is a calendar for all players to progress through and achieve rewards. And then if subscribers log in at least 4 times a week, they receive a bonus reward. During this login event, that bonus reward is going to be a special legacy token that subscribers can earn via the login rewards window. And that token can be spent on a new vendor that will only be available during the event period that will offer items such as endgame gear, augment materials, unique XP boosts, crafting boosts, and more consumables, plus a little special new reward that we're going to add to it.
Yeah, so that's
It's an okay game, but the free-to-play stuff is the worst part of it.
Goals we're talking about, and then I'll see what that other special
It's
reward
getting
is.
better
we're
in some
thinking
ways,
especially
but
for the
also
summer,
screwing me over
summer
some of the
through
passive income I used to
and
benefit
fall,
from
I
as
guess,
well.
is kind of where
So.
this is running. Really, what we're
Of course,
what
they
we were
can't just give us
thinking
good
is,
things. They have to
this
take
would
away
be a
some other
time
good things to
for,
make it worse at the same time.
Players to work on, well, I want to work on, now's the time where I'm going to finally getting, best in slot or really solid gear on my, my alts, my main, if I haven't gotten it on my main yet, or start working on gearing some of my alts. Well, this event will, let you do it. Or I finally can get legendary status because I haven't done it, or I'm going to start working on some alt that I haven't worked on through leveling through the game. Well, this event will be a place that you can do it. Or maybe none of that appeals to you and you're like, well, I just want something cool. Well, what about if you got a K2 SO inspired ship droid companion customization?
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Who doesn't love the ship droid? Everybody should if they don't.
I don't.
And who doesn't love Andor? So put those two things together, and you'd be able to get that, all in one place. So that's what the event will be able to do. There is one thing that I think is worth pointing out. For this event very specifically. This event will run from September 9th to December 9th, and this event is a use it or lose it event. And so the currency and the vendor is going to go away at the end of the event. So these rewards are very, very gameplay focused. We want you to be logged in, get those 4 times a week logins, get those tokens, spend those tokens, use them to get those benefits. Because at the end of it, when December 9th comes up, the vendor's going away, and so is the currency. You will not be able to
Why is he time limited?
Until later. There is no later. So make sure that you are getting in and getting those rewards, because the rewards are good. So get them.
But any of the items you purchase will not be removed. You can hold on to those until you're ready to use them.
Correct. Yeah, we're not going to take an XP boost out of your inventory or something, but the currency and the vendor will not be there anymore. So just want to make sure we call that out. Yep. And Feast is coming back with some new sweet stuff to earn.
Every fall, Feast comes back to Swtor. It's one of our events full of various mini games. Encourages you to hunt world bosses and to engage in a little friendly competition between some huts.
Bake some pies.
So Feast this year will run from October 7th until November 4th. And as always, we'll come with a vendor full of plenty of awesome rewards you can earn. And we want to show you some of the new decorations coming. So we're going to have this banquet hanging light. We're also going to have the Grand Feast mantle, the regal wall shelf on the bottom. I always love the decos for Feast. There's so many of them.
They're so good.
And speaking of so many, I'm not going to read everything in this screenshot, but all of these rewards are also going to be part of Feast.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to
And then outside of decorations, we also have a few new armor pieces that will be available from the Feast vendor. As you can see here, we have the Feast attendee robe in 2 versions. One comes with a nice scarf, and the other comes with no scarf, which really shows off that necklace around the neck. Alongside this is going to be the Feast attendee head wrap that you can see on the right character.
So good. It's a lot of rewards.
A lot of rewards.
There's also a green rug. So
sure. Yeah. Okay. There's another variation of the rug. Jackie has alerted me as well.
Light green.
It's green. Okay. So that is a lot of stuff. There's a whole Galactic season. Obviously, stay tuned for the Galactic season article, because you saw the mounts. You didn't even see all of the decos and the armor sets and the weapon. The rewards are amazing this season. So stay tuned for the full Galactic season article for features on all that. We obviously made lots of supporting changes for all the Flashpoint changes. I didn't see chat, but I have to imagine there's some excitement around a lot of those things. Don't worry, I imagine you can still yell spacebar at people. Now it's for jumping, though. Now it's for jumping. Anyway,
Space bars for jump puzzles only.
That's right. Anyway, so hopefully you're excited about all the changes that we talked about today. But that'll do it for my time with Bryant today. Now it's going to be me and Brad to talk through some other stuff. So thank you for coming on today to talk about all the changes, Bryant.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm back to the internet now.
Thanks, Bryant. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm back. I said back twice with Brad.
Yes, you did. I'm still Brad. I'm the art director for Swtor, and we have a lot of things to talk about.
We do. We're going to talk about Cartel Market. We're going to talk about character select modernization.
Right. We're also going to talk about character modernization minus select.
Minus select, right? And
you want to say this together, or is it your turn?
Updates on DX12. I did it.
Okay.
Nailed it. We're so in sync.
Are we
Oh,
done?
hopefully it runs better
I think we're
without
live.
Cool.
my
That's good.
fan to overdrive.
I think we covered it all.
We did. Oh, hey, look, a new hairstyle.
It is, and it's inspired by Andor.
It is
I'm
inspired
sensing
by
a theme today.
A couple of things from Andor, yes, because that is something we like to do.
That's
Give
true.
people the ability to role play in the current hotness
In
right?
Star Wars.
And this one is a great one. I really love this hairstyle on
Yep.
all my current characters right now.
Yep. And what I love about this is that I feel like it's really in theme with something else that we've built.
And that would be the Nightfall operative glasses, which go along with that look from Cassian's spy
Yeah.
outfit and/or season 2.
That's
episode,
right.
Whichever. Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm going to go back and look afterwards if anyone caught this. I think someone was dressed literally exactly like this on this Galactic Season Speeder
Speeders.
earlier, and
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone caught if that there's just some dude chilling with some sunglasses and a slick back hair
Yeah.
on the speeder from earlier.
Maybe.
I don't know if anyone caught that. That's like when we hid character modernization in the live stream,
right,
like
right.
4 streams ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're sneaky and sometimes it's just
Yeah.
accidental. We
Yeah, I don't know. It's Jackie making assets, and
Oh,
she just hides stuff in there. We're always sneaking around.
Go back. One more. Yeah. These
Okay.
glasses
Well, there's not
are
a lot of
dyeable in the
glasses
frames,
assets,
and the
so
lenses are
that's
translucent
something.
with some nice
Yeah,
reflections.
I
so
like
they
that.
should-
Brad specified that because when we were doing rehearsals, he goes, "They're dyeable," and I go, "Where are they dyeable?" And he's like, "On the frames.
frames.
Where else would they be dyeable?" So he's just stopping me from asking dumb questions this time. So thank you. I'm going to specify so you know that I would have asked the dumb question again.
But these turned out great.
Yeah, they're
Hairstyle
awesome.
turned out great. The one thing we can't show because of reasons is,
Oh yes.
do we want to talk about that now? or-
Yeah, you can mention it. Yeah.
A amazing test pilot outfit
Yeah.
that we have coming up soon that should be in the article.
Yeah, oh yeah, there'll definitely be a Cartel Market article. Yeah,
Great.
yeah, we can talk about it. We just didn't have the asset ready to show you today, but
It's an outfit.
it's awesome.
Fits the
Yeah,
player.
yeah. If you've watched Andor, just watch Andor, like the opening sequence of
First
episode
few
1.
season, or the first few episodes.
Yeah,
have
watch.
this
Yeah, yeah. It's in like the first 10 minutes of episode 1, and you'll see what
Right.
it's inspired by.
It's fantastic.
It's really good. Yeah.
Here's another player requested mount. This is the Imperial mini sub from Anon,
Yep.
which is a complement to the Republic mini sub we put out in 7.7.
Yeah, this is based on the Imperial Manon Taxi,
Right.
basically, right?
Right.
Because we did the Republic Manon Taxi in 7.7.
And you have to have both.
That's right. Yep. It's very cool.
So this is ready to go. It's got a nice animated propeller in the back. I don't know why it needs that out of the water, but it has it.
That's how it flies. Hovers.
It looks cool.
That's because it looks cool.
It's because it looks cool.
It's because
and
it
that's
looks
why
cool.
we do most things.
That's true. That's all that matters. Yeah. It's the rule of cool, right?
Okay.
That was my band in high school.
Hey,
All
look,
right. Cartel Market Summer Sale. Sorry. Okay. Cartel Market Summer Sale. So here's how it's going to work. Starting today and until September 25th, we're going to have rotating category sales, and the discounts are between 30 and 90% off. I'm just reading what's on the slide. So July 30th, which is today.
I might tune in.
That's correct.
And see
I
if
asked that
there's
last
any
time. I think
good
that's true.
deals to pick up.
I don't know what day
yes,
it is.
it's the 30th.
I still have a lot of
Mounts. So I think if you
savings.
go on the Smart Cartel Market right now, I assume, I don't know, it's mounts. They should be on sale.
I just make the art, man.
Yeah, this is what Brad and I said earlier, but it's true. Brad makes art, I make video game. We didn't make the sales, but so here's what it is. The sales are around these dates, so it's exactly what it says. July
I can't
30th
tell where you're
mounts.
pointing.
If I do this, they can look.
Okay, there.
Yeah, so August 11th is tunings, toys, and crystals. August 23rd is weapons. These are the ranges for the sales. It's always possible they could shift a little bit.
Yeah.
If they do, the people that run the sales will tell Jackie. Jackie will tell you.
Your mileage may vary on dates.
There.
Yeah.
He said it. That's how it works. Bing, bang, boom.
Cool.
So
stuff
go
on
check.
sale.
The mounts are probably on sale right now.
Probably.
I imagine.
I
If
think
they're
they-
not, tell Jackie.
Don't bother.
Don't. I realized it after I said it. I'm like,
Well, that's why I'm here.
maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, look, character
Jackie
select
does good
monitor.
work.
Select mod.
We
This
like
is the one
Jackie.
with select in it.
This has select, so you know it's different.
It's true.
So the character select screen is one funnel that everybody goes through in the game.
If you have a character.
Most people have characters in the game. I don't know how you play it otherwise, but when you select your character, we noticed some easy wins in improving the look and feel of that space. In our efforts to modernize the game, we
icons.
realized that
Crazy.
there's some lighting changes we could make, some shadow changes, a little bit of depth of field, a little bit of better presentation for your character. Because one thing we all realize is this is the place you can see your character at the highest resolution. We get a lot of screenshots from this area.
Right, yeah.
So we wanted to make sure this was a nice presentation for you.
Yeah, and one thing that I'll point out too, especially when we're looking here, because you're on your ship. Brad just said at a high resolution. One thing to call out is you are on your ship, but you are not on your ship, right? Like this is a special place.
It's a
right?
different soundstage constructed for you to specifically choose your character.
Right. So it's in character select. It's
can
character
barely tell
select
the
on your ship.
difference.
It's not on your ship on your ship. So what you're seeing here is not something that you're going to see running around on your ship.
guessing
Just
there's
one thing
like
that
a
we wanna
front
clarify.
light.
Right.
Yep.
But on the left, you
Slightly
see
to the
what it is
left.
currently. And on the right, you see a little bit of better shadows, a little bit of better lighting, a little depth of field, just to bring more focus to the character that you're selecting.
Right. And when you see this in motion, which you're going to right now, is when it really pops.
Right. So this is live, and updated lighting, better presentation, I feel.
Yeah. And then with everything all
right.
together.
Right.
And we did one version on rep, and then we'll show you the version on amp, and it's just
Right. I'm so proud of the team for working on this. It's not just the art team, it's the engineering, it's the design, it's audio, it's everybody that
Yeah.
really has a passion for giving people the best presentation to make the best Star Wars we can make. And I'm just happy to be part of it.
All ships.
yes, and across this. Oh yeah, that's a good point. This is all the ships, right? Like we're only
Right,
showing you
right.
these two as examples, but
Right.
just in case for some reason someone would be like, "Well, darn it, when's my trooper ship done?"
It's done
771.
in 771.
Yeah, they're all there. We just picked these two as examples, but it just looks like a different game. It's just so crazy how good this
It does
is.
not look like a different game.
I remember when the
but
team
it does
posted,
look like
they were
a
"Hey, I
slight
think we're gonna
license
do
tweak.
character select modernization." I was like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
And then the first image came up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I can't say the words I actually said on the live stream,
It's-
but I did internally.
It just felt like an obvious choice because it's something everybody funnels through.
Yeah, it looks great. And this awesome. Super props to the team. Okay.
Now this is character modernization.
This is without select.
without select.
That's
so
right,
This
yeah.
is a completely different subject.
That's right. That's true.
Uh,
But it has updates. Did the
yes.
other one have updates? Maybe that's the difference. I don't know. Okay.
So you may remember in the past in 7.7 we presented did we call it? We called it character modernization.
Maybe.
I think people noticed.
Yep.
Right.
They did.
The texture updates that we applied to your human characters in 7.7 we've applied to the red attacking.
Yep. And we'll show you those in a
Show you that
second.
in a
with the
second.
selectors, yeah.
We've done.
Well,
a
that'd be
lot
good.
of
My
work on
banner
dark
has
side
red
corruption
attacking,
because
so
we've
sure.
identified some issues
Yeah,
there.
Appreciate
we'll
it.
see that.
Get out your bingo cards because we have added quite a bit of hair and Montreal color customizations. to
We
the
sure
game.
have. Yes.
We will look at those in a moment.
We sure will.
Red Attack now has improved neck seams and better facial
Yeah.
textures.
I wish
and
like I
red line.
had a laser pointer that worked that they could see my laser pointer. This is where you need annotation.
Even if you had a laser pointer, they wouldn't be able to.
No, that's true. But like especially on like the biggest thing is like on the like this part of there, like if I'm do this, and it's like they're here, like this here, like you can see like really see texture difference there, and especially on the neck seam, like it's very.
It looks like
Your-
it also
your neck seam is
downplayed
pretty
some of
bad,
the
so,
tattoo strength though
help
around the
me,
eyes.
I'm not.
Might be a bit of a mixed bag that.
Yep, that's beyond my capability.
Thank you. Yep. Okay.
But
Let's
oh
start
well.
with Dark Side Corruption.
This
Yep.
is finicky.
Yeah, this one's very interesting. So I think the best example that I can use to talk through this, especially for people that are not familiar with it, is the third row, skin color 36, right?
Down there, point at it.
Yeah, right. Skin color 36, third row, right? So if you picked a dark-skinned human, right, and then you start going through, and one thing for context is this has been in the game effectively since launch, right? Like
Right.
this is a very long-standing bug that we are now fixing, right? So you have to understand that there's some history here. So again, you pick third skin, dark skin human. As you start getting dark side corruption, what you would expect, and I'm gonna use some art terms, you tell me if I start saying something incorrect,
I'll
that
buzz you.
the skin hue would start to get desaturated,
Correct.
right?
At an
Well,
expected progression.
Right, a little bit, it would start to desaturate slightly every time your dark side level goes up.
Correct.
Right? That's the expected behavior because that does happen. You get dark side 1, desaturates a little. Dark side 2, desaturates a little. What happened, though, is that if you look at that middle row, is that all of a sudden you get to like dark side 3, dark side 4, somewhere randomly on random skins, it just bottoms out through the floor.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you literally go from a dark-skinned human to your skin tone turns white.
It would completely remove your player tone that you have chosen. It would completely affect it in a drastic way that's unexpected.
Right. It's exactly. And for anyone that was playing through this, it should very much seem like a bug. So much so, in fact, that we have seen a large amount of player reports of people being like, I don't even use Dark Side Corruption because my character looks broken, right? It was seeming fine, and then all of a sudden I hit Dark 3 and my character broke.
Right.
Now, why are we fixing it now? Because one of the things we want to call out, is we're very sensitive to changing anything that is going to change the appearance of a live character, right? We talked about that when we started modernization to begin with. We want to cover it here because there are some people who are using Dark Side Corruption whose characters are going to change, right?
Correct.
But the reason is because this is
It was a bug.
right?
It was a
Right.
funny bug
Doing
at least.
something
It would
that
turn
was
your black character white,
unintended
but
and shouldn't have been applying in this way because it's not doing it in an expected curve
Right.
of desaturation that Dark Side Corruption should have been applying to.
Right.
And now that we're doing modernization, we're touching all of these skins.
Correct. It's in the array of things that we're touching as we approach character modernization, and it made sense to apply some changes
Right.
here.
And we realize it's been this way for a while. That's not an excuse though. We're here, we're fixing it, and so that's why we're doing it now. So that's all the context, the whole history. So here we are, we're fixing Dark Side Corruption. This is what it will look at the bottom row. That is what Dark Side Corruption will now appear like for many of these skins to properly start to desaturate these skins as they go across the Dark Side Corruption levels.
Right.
So there you go. I think it's the full gambit of info.
We did it.
Now let's talk about some new things.
Oh, wait a minute. Last time we talked about skin color options.
That's right.
We unlocked a few of those,
We did.
right? We have now unlocked a few
A few.
hundred,
A few.
a few hundred
Yeah.
hair and Montreal
Yeah.
customization color choices.
That's right.
Not only just for humans.
That's right.
It's always good
It's for,
just
I'm not gonna
to
remember all the species.
make things
get
a little
there.
less
We'll remember when
arbitrary.
we get there.
There's
It's
a chart.
Yeah, there's a chart. It's
There is a
human,
chart.
human cyborg, Chiss, Zabrax. There's a bunch. But yeah. And then we kind of put hair in the same bucket as Montrails.
Right.
Because they don't have hair. They have Montrails.
Mm-hmm.
But effectively what this is for anyone that was paying attention in 7.7 or anyone that plays Togruta, if you remember the skin tones
I
that
played
we
Togruta.
applied, I'm miming, here, we've now put them here.
Just like
I'm just voguing, but it's here is now here. So if you want to apply same colors, contrast colors, you know, I'm gonna stop miming. Or
that's
voguing.
okay. You can keep going.
Thank you, man. So yeah, so that's coming in 7.7.1. You'll see the chart in a second, but there's some.
That number got larger.
Yep.
By a lot.
It's funny because we did rehearsals and we were like, some of these numbers seem odd, and then Jackie checked them and we're like, oh, apparently they were too low.
Too
And
low.
there's more.
Actually more.
How? Okay, great. No, good for us.
And it's not just us typing more numbers.
That is
into the
much more
spreadsheet.
parity
No, we
now.
just
Like
play the wrong-
Actual-
yeah.
there used to be a bit
actual
of
new
human double
options for you
standard,
to use in character
and
customization.
now
Crazy.
just about every
And so the
species
thing that I
has
do
about
want
the
to
same
call
amount of
out,
importance, which is good.
Specifically, because this is slightly different than when we talked about skin tones last time.
Right.
Hair colors, very specifically, a number of them are MTX purchases to unlock those hair colors. Those are bundles that you buy on the cartel market. So again, the disclaimer is literally on your screen, but I just want to verbalize it for you that some of the colors you would have seen through that slider, I think they're the more extreme colors like hot pink and
Right.
you know, things you would have bought at Hot Topic. Like those are the ones that you probably like. Think of our cartel market. No, I'm not gonna say
Do
that.
they know what top?
I don't know. It depends on how old you are. I mean, Hot Topic still exists, doesn't it?
Probably.
Does Hot Topic still exist? Thank you.
Chat. What did
Okay,
they
great.
know?
Thank you. Brooks confirmed for me.
Oh, also, before we forget, didn't we unlock hair for Zabrak?
Skin tones for Imperial Zabrak.
Okay, so
Skin
skin
tones for Imperial-
tones,
I
yeah,
knew it was
because there was some
confused, yeah.
inconsistency between the number of skins between Republic and Imperial skin, Republic and Imperial Zabraks, due to some things back at launch.
Right.
They didn't have the same number of skin tones. Now they do. I think they now have the same amount of skins or something like that. There's a little bit more
Big on
parity.
bonds.
We should get that specific and let it know. But I know there's something that we did there with adding some more skins to Imperial. I think we've given them parity is what it is, but we'll get you that answer.
Right.
There's some nuance in there that just
It is a lot of new
it's-
options.
It's a
lot of new
With all
options.
these numbers, the nuance in there gets lost sometimes. But
I think if we add more, we'll get into infrared and ultraviolet.
it's gonna get Korea. When we were making a joke about bees having
bee-
hair or something.
When bees decide to play our game, then we'll get
Yeah.
into ultraviolet.
If there's any
or
bees out
infrared.
there playing our game, holler, let us know.
How,
I don't. If they can play our game, they can probably type. I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
Hey, DX12.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this. We're talking about bees. I don't even understand. Okay. So the goals of this initiative have not changed since last time we talked about it, but I don't remember when that was. It's probably been a little while since we've given an update.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably pretty. These should be pretty clear. But for those that don't know, right? Like modernization is obviously really important to us. I mean, I don't think there's been a stream in the last year and a half that we've done. Tear in my eye. That we haven't talked about modernization
In
of
some way.
kind,
Right.
right? So this is obviously pretty important to us. And you're obviously more art inclined, much more than I am, but like it's really important to things like lighting and
Sure. Like with DX12, we'll be able to do a lot more lighting and shadows and reflections and visual effects and particle effects and all kinds of things that as artists we can't do right now in our current engine. Our current engine is very capable, but there's a few rendering things that we're lacking a bit in.
I would not
And
call it a
DX12
very
will
capable
afford us that,
engine,
as well
but
as give
it
us
does
a
the
better
job.
foundation for developing for the future.
Yeah.
Kinds of things in
Yeah.
the future that
Right.
haven't happened yet.
yeah. And so we're always looking. Like we never stopped developing towards DX12, and obviously we never stopped doing modernization efforts, and so DX12 fits under that bucket, right?
Right.
And so where are we? Great question, person that asked that for the slide that we're talking about. So we have a functioning version of the game on DX12.
Yes, we do.
But functioning is asterisk, but we have one, right?
Right.
Right now, where we're working is getting the UI to work there,
Right.
because that's a big bucket of work, right?
And it's important to have UI I don't think you could play the game.
I don't think you can play a game without a user interface.
I don't think Keith could play the game.
I don't think so. And so that's important. And baseline shaders, that's fancier art words. But just know, we have a functioning version of the game.
Right.
We have some bigger hurdles still to get past to get to the point of having a player functioning version of the game.
Right.
Because those are different things.
Mm-hmm.
So really what that all means is really the middle bullet.
Right.
Our next step is to get towards a technical alpha. All of you understand what alphas mean. That means early playable version for you to get your hands on.
Mm-hmm.
Think of like how we handled Mac, right? Where like a technical alpha that's a tech test that we want to try to get probably a limited number of players. I don't know. Who knows exactly what our rollout of this will look like? But our goal is ultimately the same. We want to try to get DX12 in your hands as soon as we can to start getting you testing on it, breaking it, not breaking it. Maybe it just works like a dream, and
maybe it works first time.
And we just keep rolling forward so that we can get this rolled out as soon as we can, so that we can start unlocking some of the things that Brad mentioned.
And then we'll move on to DX13.
And then move on to DX13, right? Is that thing? I honestly
don't even know if it exists.
I hope
stuff.
DX13 doesn't
but hey,
become
look,
a thing.
they can't have a DX13 unless we get on DX12. I think that's one of their blockers, probably.
Numbers work that way, I guess.
That's probably, yeah. Just go straight to 14. What are they even doing? They should consult us.
We should just go straight. Wait, no.
Okay. So, anyway, as soon as we have, I don't have a timeline to talk to you about right now. We're obviously still working through, like I said, some hurdles on our side to get to the point of having a player functioning alpha. But as soon as we have more, we will let you know. Probably through a stream, unless something moves quickly, and then we would try to roll it into a PTS. Our next PTS is logically going to be 7.8, so that would probably be the next time you hear us talk about a PTS. But separate from that, if we have something that moves quickly, it would be a separate announcement, but most likely on a live stream. So just hold tight. We'll let you know when we have more details.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yep, as soon as we can. But we just wanted to make sure you heard about it because we haven't talked about it in some time. So and we haven't lost sight. That's a lot.
No, there's nothing on the screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not a lot. It's empty. Oh, wait, it's not. Oh, there's not. Dang it. Okay. Oh, tricky. That guy's tricking us. Okay.
Yep.
Story.
We're at the end of the stream.
Just to recap, in case you weren't here in the beginning, our plan, Galactic Threads coming in 7.8, which is our holiday update. Fast follow of Masters Enigma in 7.8.1. Date night also in 7.8.1, following in our next .1 update as planned. Our next Galactic season is Season 9, Flashpoint Resurgence. It's about flashpoints, hence the name, with a bunch of Andor-themed rewards. Stay tuned for the full article to showcase all those rewards that we didn't show, we talked about today. There's a bunch of surrounding quality of life updates around flashpoints, like the updates to Activity Finder, the no more yelling spacebar. People start asking people about spacebar, etc. Except for jumping. Free-to-play improvements to our free-to-play model. Very cool. Along with this, we didn't put the bullet there, but we should have for the subscriber event that's going to run from September 9th. So this way, something for free-to-play, something for subscriber at the same time. The combat updates rolling into 7.7.1, new feast rewards, new cartel market items, all the character modernization stuff, so both character select and all the individual character modernization things that are happening. And then we just talked about DX12 coming in the future.
Right.
Macarena. And then when's it coming?
Last bullet point.
Last bullet. There's space for one. It's coming later in August. Stay tuned for a specific date in the next, hopefully in the next couple weeks, we should be able to put in a launch date. We're getting pretty close. So as soon as we're locked down on a specific build and everything per usual, we'll give you a launch date as soon as we have one in hand.
That's right. I think that's all of it.
I think that's everything.
Thanks for joining me on my podcast.
You're welcome.
You like and subscribe for more content or recipes, whatever it is we do here.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Yeah, we did it.
Do we freeze frame now and roll credits?
I think so. Yeah, we could just be like, and then people would be like, "Oh my God, did the stream break? Did the stream break? It's offline."
Broke already once.
That's true. I was on it, so I wouldn't know. That's fine. I just saw you guys just pointing at each other, and I was like, I don't know, did it break? I'm just gonna keep talking. Anyway, thank you all for coming to the stream. Hopefully you're excited about 7.7.1. I'll go catch up on anything, see if there's any questions or anything that need to be answered. But looking forward to what happens through the summer. So thank you all, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay, so overall, it's not a huge update, but it's about what I expected, so could be worse. I do wish when they said there's going to be story content, they would be more specific about what the story content would be, because now I'm just led to assume the worst, and that it's going to be like half an hour of yapping on the base at Odessa and promising that maybe we'll resolve the expansion story in the next patch. I am quite annoyed about the fucking change to the authenticator thing though, because just getting like 100 cartel coins a month passively did actually add up to getting me quite a few thousands when I wasn't even playing the game, and it was very nice to come back to all of those cartel coins whenever I did dip back into the game, and now I have to actually log in the entire time that I've actually quit the game to get rewards, which means that actually the returning experience when I come back is going to be worse. So, that was very not cool of them. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose, yeah, obviously the voice actor strike impacted their ability to deliver story content a lot, especially because this game has like 8 protagonist classes, and each of those classes have 2 voices. So anytime the protagonist says anything, you need to get 16 voice actors in to record, which is crazy. And that's just assuming they're talking to themselves, let alone having someone else in the scene. So I could give them a pass while the strike was going. Hopefully they pick the pace back up, but even if the strike hadn't been happening, and even before the strike, they definitely slowed down on the pace of story content releases quite a lot anyway, so... Well, let's see. let's queue up some Death Stranding, I think. Let's see if I can split the YouTube VOD as a different event. Because I haven't tried this before. Oh.